we go. Good morning, I'm Aziff Azuddin. You're watching Morning Headlines and it's the 30th of April. Now, as April comes to an end, we have the question in our heads on whether or not the water rationing will still come to continue, but come next month. And that's what the Star runs with today. Water rationing standoff between experts and the people. So, the folks of Selangor are demanding and hoping that the water rationing will end so that they can continue life as usual. While on the other hand, experts are saying that chances are you might want to continue water rationing until the water levels are back in optimal level. Now, whether or not the water rationing will continue is reliant on MB Khalid's statement today, which is what the NST runs with. Water rationing to end today. This is a reference that MB Khalid will come out today with a press conference stating whether or not we will continue water rationing. Now, there's been a lot of political struggle between the PKR government, water concessionaires and the government. So, question is, we're just waiting whether or not today will be the day we decide that water comes back, right? And this is something Sina runs with, Chatuan Tamat, and there you have a nice little picture of Khalid's statement which he came out on Twitter. Anyway, so another story we have on Sina's frontline is Tok Guru Setuju. So Nik Aziz, former MB of Kelantan, has came out saying that, I'm going all out with hudud. Now, the interesting about Sina Harian is that they seem to have a hudud agenda which they've been running for the past many weeks. Now, there's nothing new to add to the debate. The fact that people know that if PAS continues with their hudud agenda, it will likely split the Pakatan coalition apart, and maybe that's something that the federal government or those on the side of Barisan Nasional might be hoping for. DAP is unhappy, PKR is unhappy. What is the future face with the coalition? We have no idea. Now, moving on to the next story, we have The Sun, which comes out with the headline, nipped in the bud. Now, this is in reference to yesterday's reports of the militant groups which were arrested by the police. Now, this is just a basic roundup of what happened yesterday. Basically, these are terrorist groups which are trying to organize themselves, and apparently the police have nipped them in the bud. You're just right, because these guys really don't know how to organize themselves, and apparently they've been using social media, not really the right method to do so. If you want to run a terrorist organization, in my opinion, stick to meeting underground or organizing terrorist cells if you want to run it that way, right? Now, Utusan Malaysia runs a bit on the similar vein. You have this one rogue Ustaz from Kedah who is apparently in Syria fighting among the jihadists. Apparently, this report talks about the video of this guy actually firing a missile right there. Nice picture, really. But anyway, so this video has been around for a few months now. I spotted it in YouTube 2 months ago, but apparently Utusan decided to pick it up now. Quite slow, don't you think? But anyway, another more interesting story which I think is more pertinent is another bus accident has occurred again. We've just been fresh 2 weeks up from bus accidents and also solutions that JPJ are coming up with, and this has happened yet again. Is JPJ doing anything about it? We have here where they're talking about how apparently 20% of bus drivers don't have a license. What are we doing? Really? It's an endless topic right there. So, Berita Harian, going back to another long extended issue of the MH370. Now, the MH370 saga continues with a speculation coming up with Berita Harian's headlines, Dua Petunjuk Baru. Now, Berita Harian is saying that chances are, with this new supposed data found, apparently the MH370 wreckage could either be at the Bay of Bengal or it could possibly be near Siam. So really, I think it's a speculation case again because other newspapers are not really talking about it that much. I'm not sure what Berita Harian is running with over here today. But Malay Mail runs along the same vein of the MH370. They've come out, however, mentioning that finally we might be moving into the new phase of the search and recover, where Malaysia will finally head an international investigation group to find out what has happened behind the disappearance of the MH370. Now we have Datuk Kok Soo Chun, the former DCA, who will be leading this investigation of the MH370. And down here, Malay Mail runs an international story from America. 21 people killed as tornado rips through Mississippi. I'm not sure why Malay Mail is running with that story, quite honestly. But finally, let's go to our favourite paper of the list. We have Harian Metro, which actually has a very good story today. Now, we have a woman who was left behind by her husband during her travels. We have cockfighting. And finally, a more interesting story down here is actually people have discovered that there was an atheist group being organised on social media. Now, quite honestly, atheists have been around on social media for the longest time possible. So, there you have it. Tolak agama, atheism right there on social media. I wouldn't find this particularly surprising, really, because you meet a bunch of people on the internet and atheists are among one of them. What's the problem there, right? So that's all I have for you this morning. You're watching Morning Headlines. I'm Aziff Azuddin for BFM 89.9.